Hello people, welcome to another level review. So, Nine Circles, one of the most iconic levels, if not the most iconic level, in all of Geometry Dash. I do think this is harder than Jawbreaker, but not by a lot, and this is the best Nine Circles level I've played so far. So first I want to talk about the gameplay. This level is very consistently difficult. But seriously, it is a very consistent level, and that's most of the reason why I like it, but yeah, let's just talk in more detail. It's pretty well balanced, especially the wave, unlike Jawbreaker, had so many choke points. The beginning cube is just average difficulty, average gameplay, nothing too special about it. The ship is pretty creative in using slopes, and it requires light taps, which like a lot of medium demons don't really require that skill. And the ball is also pretty creative with the slopes. There's some tricky orb timings in there. The first coin is pretty easy, and it's also very pleasing to watch back. The next cube is like kind of a break before you get into the wave, which is nice. The first few inputs of the wave, they're a bit tricky to get consistent, especially that one click into the slow portal at 47. I died there a lot, it was kind of a choke point. The reverse wave part, I think it's easier since the inputs are a bit slower, but there are some tight spaces that you have to like maneuver there, and I think it contributes pretty well to the balancing of this level. I didn't get the second coin, but that looks pretty hard to me. The duel is deceivingly hard, especially like going into it, you gotta do a late input, and it doesn't really look like you have to. The mini wave is also pretty difficult. It's probably harder than the reverse wave part. The inputs from 69 to 70 for me are the hardest part of the level, but they weren't like a huge choke point. The rest of it is pretty intuitive, but still hard. And getting into the mini duel requires some pretty precise click patterns, and for me it was really hard to find a pattern that was like consistent. And the mini duel itself is hard, but it's probably not that bad if you have beaten Jawbreaker because it kind of has like the same mini duel pattern in it. The ending cube is famously difficult, but it's not the hardest part of the level for me. That late orb timing at 87 absolutely screwed me over. I died there a couple times, I think. My worst fail was 94 at the end of the triple, which was kind of dumb, but also valid because that's a hard timing. But after 94 it's pretty easy, unless you go for the coin, but I did not do that. Okay, now let's talk about the deco. I don't usually really like 1.9 deco, but I think Nine Circles levels do it decently. I appreciate the monochrome and the theme, and it's also not too like complex and in your face. I'm looking at you, Windy Landscape. I don't really have much to say about the deco except that the flashing lights created this mega trend that's still somewhat alive today, like 8 years later, but it does tire out the eyes when you play it, so like I couldn't really play this for more than an hour and a half at a time. So in conclusion, this is a great level overall, especially for 1.9. It's a great first hard demon because of how balanced it is, and it says it's 11 on the demon ladder. I'd say it's more of a 12, but maybe that's just because I'm bad at wave. So I'm giving the gameplay a 9.5 out of 10. I think that's the highest gameplay score I've given a level so far. The deco I'll give 5 out of 10. It's kind of just average. And the overall score, I will give it an 8 out of 10, because for me gameplay is more important than deco. I kind of want to talk about that more in a future video, but yeah. So yeah, that was it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye!